Last time the Bills had a big victory, we followed it up by losing to the Rams. After beating Detroit, I know we're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. This time, we know better than that. We know better than that. Welcome to the Mafia Minute, where we never fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I am Magnum Mills here with Jamie G, and we are previewing this Week 16 matchup against the Patriots. Spoiler alert, is going to be a cold one. Go ahead, grab yourself a cold one, and check out this episode of the Mafia Minute presented by CZGAP Fantasy Football. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. We're on social media at CZGAPFF and on the web at MafiaMinute.com. Very simple and easy to remember, just like the flaps, FLAPS. They are a cornerstone of our success. Follow, like, and please subscribe. If you had fun, please make sure to hit the thumb. Jamie G, usually going into a game, you are what I would call cautiously optimistic. You were maybe cautiously pessimistic last week going into that Detroit game. How are you feeling this week going into this New England game?
I'm feeling good, but not like over the top, like, hey, this mail it in type thing. Look, it feels like it could be a little bit of a trap game. Bills haven't seen them yet this season. They are a division rival. It is at home. And we're still playing for something, man. We're still chasing that number one seed, and we're still trying to get better each and every week. So I'm excited to see how the Bills respond coming off that huge win in Detroit while still keeping the same focus, the same level of integrity, the same, like, hey, these are must-win games for us. Even though we could lose this and still be fine, I think that they got to have the right mindset here, man. So excited about it. It's a game we should win. But look, man, this is going to be a thing. We're going to have to face Drake May for a while here. He's at least going to be with them for a couple more years, depending on how he does. He looks to be somebody that's got the part that could they could rebuild around him. So curious to see how the Bills respond this week, man. But it's at home in front of the best fans in the world. I'm looking forward to him getting a win.
That's the mindset I like right there. Before we get into the game preview, let's take care of any of the latest Bills news and whatnot with a little Bills on parade. Just a couple of lighter fun notes here. Josh Allen is currently the overwhelming favorite to win the NFL MVP award, and Dion Dawkins thinks why. He thinks that Josh Allen is having fun. He doesn't want to call it out of school or whatever, but he basically says, yeah, Haley Steinfeld might have something to do with it. Everyone seems to think she is a very positive influence on him. Jamie G, I know that hurts you deep down because you think you are the only one true person for Josh Allen. Y'all are hetero life mates or soulmates or whatever you want to call it there, but it can't hurt right now. So far, the results post Haley Steinfeld. I'm not sure when they first started dating or whatever, but the winning percentage pretty good here. We might be in Tom Giselle territory. I'm not sure. Don't have all the exact stats, but so far not bad, right? The exact opposite of remember Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson. That was very bad correlation here. Positive correlation, I think.
Positive, and I think he's playing free. He's playing with confidence, and he's not facing a bunch of pressure. And I also think for her too, everyone said they were head over heels basically since the time they met, which is awesome, and that can just bring such good positive energy into your world, man. So I'm really happy for him. Yes, I had dreams of being like bros for life with him, but maybe we still can be. But I'm happy for him in all seriousness.
Yeah, go on a little trip to the shore or something with your families, all that kind of stuff. And kind of
Yeah.
related to that, Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network did a survey of 27 NFL executives, asked them who they think the MVP should be, and Josh Allen received 22 of the 27 votes, a runaway winner. So let's see if he can lock that down. The Bills did make a couple of minor moves on the practice squad. They signed wide receiver Jalen Virgil to the squad. 6 foot, 210-pound dude out of Appalachian State, was on the Broncos in 2022. Not a ton there. He missed the 2023 season with a knee injury, so add a little bit of depth and a familiar face. The Bills did bring back defensive end Casey Toohill to the practice squad to create room for him. They released defensive tackle Eli Anaku. So just, a little bit churn in the back end of the roster, but that's what good teams got to do, right? You got to make use of every roster spot you got there. They are all very important. So good to keep that practice squad beefed up.
Yeah, and I think with the injuries and constant kind of development of this team, I mean, if you look at the Bills, and I'll just give them a little bit of credit here, they have developed some people, right? I mean, you look at kind of what they did with Dorian Williams, getting him in to the point where he could hold down a starting role. Damar Hamlin, Christian Benford. These are guys that they brought in that weren't super high draft picks that maybe people weren't going to be, on their radar or whatever, and they slowly developed them. And so I think their program is a good one. They've been able to do a good job developing guys, and so I'm happy to see, just because you're 11-3, it doesn't mean you kind of stop worrying about stuff. So it's good work on the front office part.
What you got to do, man. You got to develop some of these cheaper guys because you got to pay the stars all of that cash. Let's get into the game preview, starting with the tail of the tape. This is Week 16 football, and you should know this one has been moved to 4:25. This was originally a 1 p.m. kickoff. It is now 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CBS. So make sure you have updated your calendars. The 3-11 New England Patriots are traveling to face the 11-3 Buffalo Bills. Currently, the Patriots are 14-point road dogs, plus 625 on the money line, while the Bills are 14-point home favorites, minus 950 on the money line. Game total in this one is 46.5 points. And there will be a little bit weather, but maybe not the weather you're thinking. No snow, really. 5% or less chance of precipitation. Minimal winds, call them around 5 miles an hour and under, but it is going to be cold. It's not going to get down quite to 5 degrees, but you are going to be looking at temperatures in the low teens, possibly even creeping up into the high single digits. So if you're going to the game, you are going to want to bundle up. It is going to be a cold one, and not the good kind of cold one. Moving into the injury report, we will start on the Patriots side of the ball. They have a number of players listed as questionable, including safety Kyle Duggar, cornerback Marcus Jones, defensive end Dietrich Wise Jr., cornerback Christian Gonzalez, and offensive guard Cole Strange. And for the Bills, maybe this is a minor miracle. You have guys on the injury report, but the last 2 days, every player on the 53-man roster has been participating in practice. So go ahead, knock on wood, but that sounds like good news. As far as the players listed as questionable on the injury report, we have safety Taylor Rapp with a neck and shoulder injury, safety Damar Hamlin with a ribs injury, cornerback Rasul Douglas with a knee, linebacker Matt Milano with a groin, linebacker Dorian Williams with an elbow, and wide receiver Curtis Samuel with the shoulder. As of right now, it feels like there's a decent chance all of these players play, but again, the Bills are going to want to be cautious here. You are in the playoffs, you're still playing for that 1 seed, but you want to be at maximum health in that first playoff game. Jamie G, any thoughts on the injury report?
I'm curious to see how the Bills are going to approach this in this game. It's not like it's must win, but at the same time, you want to get these guys back and get their game legs back underneath them, especially guys who have missed multiple games here. So curious to see. I expect Curtis Samuel to play, finish the game. Dorian Williams, we'll see. We really need him if they decide to keep Matt Milano out. You want to kind of get him right, even though he was just starting to get his legs underneath him. And curious to see what happens with Douglas and the two safeties. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach this. I know they're all practicing. We'll see if they all play, man.
We hope the key is not only that they play, but then they finish the game and then they play the next one and the one after that. That is the key, the continuous playing. That's what we want to do. And we also want to know what Jamie G's keys are. You know my keys. These are the keys to victory for the Buffalo Bills in Week 16. Jamie G, you know your keys. Why don't you give them to us?
Number one, rip their hearts out early and crush their spirits. Flush them down the drain. It's looking like Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo might be starting to lose the locker room just a little bit. I think we should speed that process along here. Need to score first, need to get up big double digits heading into halftime, then crush any resistance they might have left in the early third quarter there, man. Just get the lead, hold on to it, and don't even give them a chance. Do not let them hang around. Number two, keep it so fresh and so clean. The Bills aren't going to lose this one unless they help the Patriots out. We can't turn the ball over, miss field goals, or take stupid penalties. Don't beat yourself. If we can keep it clean here, I think Bills Mafia, I think we'll be able to force a couple of penalties from noise alone, and that's all it should require to help us out down the stretch, man. So keep it clean. Don't beat ourselves. Number three, everybody eats, but the running backs are first in line. As lovely as it would be to see Josh Allen pad his MVP stats even more, the Bills need a dominant, on the ground, control the clock type game. James Cook, man, he's Raekwon for the Bills, the head chef in charge, but he's got some great line cooks in Ray Davis and Ty Johnson. Call them sous chefs, if you will. Let's get them all involved early and often. Number four, make like we're Funkmaster Flex. I'm Ritalin. The Bills cannot look past this game or take it lightly. They got to come out of the chute, flying here very fast and maintain the focus. This should be, I hate to say an easy win, but they should win this one handedly, man, if they take care of business.
In an ideal world, you think Josh Allen's stat line in the fourth quarter is 0 because he's on the bench comfortably. Will not be great for you if you're starting him in your fantasy football playoffs, but hopefully by that point he has racked up enough for you there. But would be nice to win this one comfortably. And that's what you got to do. You don't want to be the Chiefs, right? You can't let these teams hang around. You got to take care of business. And one order of business we need to take care of is our predictions. Jamie G is coming in hot here, but it's Buffalo style, so we do our predictions like we do our chicken wings at various levels of heat. So we're going to have a mild prediction, a medium prediction, and a hot boy. Jamie G, lay it on us here, coming in hot. What are your predictions for this game in week 16?
Yeah, man, our mild is still going to have some spice to it, baby. I'm going to say the Bills are going to score 30 plus points. Folks, just recognize how great that would be. This would be niner in a row. It would be a single season record. That's incredible. You might ask yourself, why is this a mild prediction? Well, it's because the Bills' implied team total, according to Draftkings Sportsbook, is 30.25. That's right. Vegas think the Bills are going to drop another 30 burger. So we'll have our heat elsewhere. Speaking of elsewhere, medium. You know, Buffalo medium is kind of like a hot. It's got spice, it's got flavor, it's got everything nice. The Bills will force multiple turnovers. We restarted the turnover streak last week, but why settle for one when you can have two or three or four or as many as possible? We're going to get at least one plus, baby. I like that. And then coming in hot here, Mills, with a scorcher, the Bills will rush for 221 plus yards as a team. Now, that sounds kind of hot, but the Bills had 197 rushing yards last week, 220 against the Niners just 3 weeks ago. Let's set a season high here, man, on the ground and set the tone for the playoffs, baby. Playoffs? Yeah, we're talking playoffs.
And I think that would make a lot of people happy in your fantasy football championships. If you're getting that 221 plus, you know James Cook is eating. You probably could get Ray Davis and maybe even Ty Johnson in there. You know, Josh Allen will count against that. So if he rushes for an 80 burger or something, then he doesn't need to throw all those touchdowns, right? So I think either way, it's working out for you. Jamie G, anything else as far as previewing the game, specific stuff we haven't touched on that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, I think there's some good. I think there'll be some good matchups seeing how the Bills attack this defense, and again, it'll come down to the offensive line's ability to have a day here and protect Josh. But I really like that, and then it's just the Bills being able to kind of keep a young bull in check here. I think defensively, and Drake May, he's got arm talent, he's got scramble ability. So they're gonna have to figure out a way to kind of keep him in check, not let him have that breakout day.
Yeah, that's the one thing. This does not want to be the day that everyone is like, becomes aware of Drake May Day. Let's put that one off until if he wants to do it in week 17, he can. But other than that, let's put it off till next season, right? I don't think we need to deal with that right now. And before we get into our wagers here, Jamie G, I need you to put on your thinking ahead here, your dreaming hat, put up your dream board, and I need you to manifest some Mafia magic and tell us the dream scenario for this game in week 16. If you had it your way, like Frank Sinatra, how's it going down like DMX?
We're gonna do it my way. Oh, Mills, I like this one. We defer. We win the kickoff. We defer. Defense goes on the field right away. Gregory Rousseau hits Drake May as he throws the pass. It gets intercepted by Taron Johnson. It's returned for a pick six. Bills up 7-0. In the blink of an eye, we force a three and out. The offense comes out, puts together a nice, long, time-consuming drive. 7 points on the board. It's 14-0. Get another three and out. Offense scores again. It's now 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, more of the same, buddy. We get another turnover on a strip sack or a forced fumble. I like it either way. Bills get the ball in good position, score again. At the end of the first half, it is 31-0. The Bills have not punted, and we're coming out in the second half, resting starters, and the Bills wrap this one up early.
Ooh, I what do you realize there's not been a shutout in the NFL yet this season? That would be probably up there on the dream board maybe because it literally hasn't happened. Kind of wild. I think it might be the deepest they've ever gone in the season without a shutout. So maybe we can manifest that one into reality, and let's try to manifest ourselves some cash with our Bills bets. Last week was not the best, not the worst. Jamie G, you hit there. We are up 314 Bills bucks overall on the season, being carried by our tripods, our three-leg single game parlays. They're up about 425. Jamie G, you're up about 287, and I am down about 398 because I keep going against the Buffalo Bills opposing quarterbacks. That has not worked. Betting on the defense the last 2 weeks, so I am switching it up here. I'm going to take a little bit bigger swing. We like the Bills to do it on the ground this week, so I'm going to take James Cook 100 plus rushing yards. Y'all going to love that if you're starting him in your fantasy football playoffs. That is plus 310 according to the DK Sportsbook. So if you put 100 Bills bucks on it, you're bringing back 410. Definitely help you with some of those holiday shopping bills. Jamie G, what are you putting your 100 Bills bucks on this week?
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna go as aggressive as you, although I love what you're doing there, but I am gonna go with the chef himself, James Cook, over 64 and a half rush yards. I think this is really low given the total here on the over under. It's minus 115, 100 Bills bucks there to win 191.
All right, that brings us to our tripod. This is a three-leg single game parlay. Not quite a full menu we're working with here, but we got enough to get by. Leg number one, we're taking James Cook. We're going to split the difference between the 100 and the under over. Take James Cook 80 plus rushing yards. That's plus 150 on its own. And then we're going to go to Mr. Reliable, Khalil Shakir, 50 plus receiving yards, minus 105. I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, but that just feels like the safest bet in the Bills passing game right now. That's right around his floor. And then finally, we don't not even need to happen twice, just the once. One, Josh Allen, anytime touchdown. So that's rushing or receiving. We've seen him do that as well. Just passing doesn't count. He's gotten 2+ in each of the last games. We just need one here. Minus 135 for that leg on its own. So you put these three together: James Cook 80 plus rushing yards, Khalil Shakir 50 plus receiving yards, Josh Allen anytime TD scorer. Your odds are plus 500, so 100 Bills bucks brings you home 600. And again, definitely making a little bit of a dent in that holiday Visa bill. So we're trying to help you out here.
Yes, we are. I love it, Mills. I love it so much. I can see it happening.
Oh, and hopefully you just see the cash just falling outside your window. And if that's the case, go outside, scoop up the cash real quick before the squirrels steal it or something. And we're also trying to make a couple of bucks over on Draftkings. So we got just a couple of picks for you. We call these our draft Joshes because it's blasphemy around here to call anybody other than Josh Allen the king. So obviously, once again, you're going to want to go back to the well, play Josh Allen at your captain spot in the Draftkings Showdown. Just be aware it's the most expensive captain I can remember seeing, $19,200. You thought 18K was a lot. They're seeing how high they can raise it. If you want to drop down, play James Cook at 15K flat. Don't blame you there. And if you really want to go for the biscuit, the Bills DST at captain only costs you 8,400. If you're really going to lean into that narrative, that's the way to go. You can find a little bit of value if you go down. Ray Davis is only 2,800 bucks. If the game plays out the way we think it is, he could get maybe 8 to 12 carries, catch a pass, score a touchdown or two at 2,800. That's so money, baby. And then if you want to spend up a little bit, you could go back to Dalton Kincaid at 6,600. Saw him tie Shakir for the team lead in targets last week. I would expect that to continue. Even if Dawson Knox is out snapping him when he's out there, Kincaid will be getting looks from Josh Allen. And you have to run it back with someone on the other side of the ball. Again, if you want to go with Drake May and anticipate a higher scoring game, more power to you. But rather save a couple bucks, you could maybe go to Demario Douglas, the wide receiver for the Patriots at 6,400. He's the safety blanket operating out of the slot there. No, Teron Johnson has struggled a little bit the last couple weeks due to much higher competition. Not saying he's going to go nuts, but he's a compiler. He could get 7, 8 catches. That adds up in a PPR scoring format. And if you wanted to get a little bit tricky, you could play Antonio Gibson, the Patriots backup running back. He's been steadily eating into Ramondre Stevenson's work, and he's more involved in the passing game. We have seen running backs have success against the Bills in the passing game. So at 4,400, he could be a decent value option for you. And obviously, if you're stacking it up, I think you got to have Josh Allen and James Cook in there this week. You want to work in Khalil Shakir probably. After that, find yourself a running back, get yourself a Bills D, maybe even do a T-Bass, and then you could run it back on the other side. Again, with who you want, but I would probably suggest throwing Douglas or Gibson in there. One final order of business. We need the final score prediction. Jamie G, I'm pretty sure I know who you're going to pick to win this one. My question is, by how much?
I am going to, shocker, I am going to take the Bills here, and I'm going to take the Bills 38, New England 13.
It sounds nice. It's got a fairly good alliterative quality when you say a 38-13. It just flows off the tongue very well. So I am pleased with that one. And it's solid cover there, too. So perhaps you maybe bump it up to 3 touchdowns or whatever. I'm curious how high DK lets you go up. I'm guessing maybe they let you go to -27 or so. I'm guessing that's about the limit right there. We'll do the Scarface thing. We'll push it to the limit because that's what we do here on the Mafia Minute. We will be back with a review of this one in a couple of days. Until then, just lock it in. Be ready. It's going to be a cold one. Get yourself some cold ones. Enjoy the game. Make sure you spread that Mafia cheer during the holidays. Buy everyone some Bills related merch. Everybody loves some good Bill swag. So get on top of that. Thanks again for checking out the Mafia Minute presented by CZGAP Fantasy Football. Find us wherever you get your pods and on YouTube. Find us on social media at CZGAPFF and on the internet at MafiaMinute.com. Really easy to remember, just like the flaps. FLAPS. Very crucial to our success. Follow, like, and please subscribe. If you had fun, please remember to hit the thumb. I am Magnum Mills, and Jamie G is going to do his last job here and get you all as pumped as possible for this Week 16 AFC East Showdown.
Bills Mafia, it's going to be cold. It's going to be tough sledding out there. But guess what? When it's too tough for them, it's just right for us. Let's not take this one lightly. It's a division opponent. It's a chance to go 1-0 this week, 7-0 at home. Let's get this dub. Go to 12-3 on the season, man. I'm excited to see the team respond, rally, get another big win at home, baby. We'll see you on the flip side. Go Bills.